A 2020 release from the house of Calvin Klein. Not many people are talking about this fragrance, and I'm kind of surprised, but on the other hand, I'm really not. I'm not a huge fan of Calvin Klein, but I do own a few. But this one is kind of a surprise to me. Defy by Calvin Klein. Welcome back. For those of you who are first timers to this channel, my name is Keith. This is the Fragrant Life, and here we talk about all things fragrance related, niche, designer. We talk about cheapies. We talk about clone houses, independents. It doesn't matter. We do it all here. So if you like this type of content, then definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell icon for notifications, like these videos, thumbs up, share these videos, and definitely be active in the comment section. If you take the time to watch these videos, then all it takes is in the midst of you watching the video to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell icon, hit the thumbs up button, and type in a comment real quick. Even if it's just great video, or you had any familiarity with a fragrance that I talked about, whether you liked the fragrance, you didn't like the fragrance, either way, I want to know about it. So let's get to it. So this is just a little FYI before the rest of the video starts. My girlfriend and I were at an Ulta Beauty, and if you can look right here, there's Phantom by Paco Rabanne. We smelled that one first, and we both absolutely loved Phantom, which was a shock because it's one of those mass appealing type fragrances that I don't really care much for, because in my opinion, a lot of these fragrances, if you have one, then you have them all, and they all lean towards the same kind of sweet, super fresh kind of vibe you get from it. But Defy was the second one we smelled at that same store, and she also liked this one a lot, and I did too, and we both once again looked at each other like, damn, okay, that's what's up. So yeah, she likes these fragrances, and I wish I could get her reaction, but she works some weird hours, and it's kind of hard for both of us to be in the same place at the same time without one, or if both of us are being super tired. So hopefully soon we can get in a collaboration video together, and I can get her reaction on a lot of these new releases. But we both did like Defy. So now back to our regularly scheduled programming. The house of Calvin Klein is one of those houses that doesn't really get enough, or a lot of love, I should say. And I'm one of those people who don't really give this house a lot of love. There are certain fragrances that I personally love. It's not a lot of them. I've tried a lot of those fragrances, and a lot of them just don't perform well on my skin. I've had CK All, I've had CK Free. There are some other flankers that I've had that I don't have anymore. The more notable ones that people talk about are fragrances like CK1, which is the OG. And I have a big bottle of this one, and as you can tell, I have used a little bit of this. It's not the greatest performing fragrance, but it does smell good. If you're not into floral type scents, then you may want to steer clear of this one. But I actually like this. Not a lot, but I do like it. It doesn't perform that well on my skin. I've had this particular fragrance before in a smaller size. I got rid of it, and around Christmas time, I think I found this one in a gift set that actually was broken up. I guess the other stuff that was in the gift set was missing, and so I was able to purchase this 200 ml bottle that matches the other one, CKB, and this one is just another okay fragrance. If I had to choose between these two, I'd definitely go with CK1, but CKB is another one that I do kind of like. I love this one. It just doesn't perform that well on my skin either. I love it because of its fruity aspect. This is Eternity Now for Men by Calvin Klein. And I just love, y'all know me, I'm a sucker for sweet fragrances. This is fresh, kind of fruity. I love this a lot, but it just doesn't perform. And this is one of those fragrances that, as you can see, I haven't used a lot of. I have used it maybe once or twice, but not a lot. So Eternity Now. One I picked up recently in a small haul video I did. Eternity for Men's Summer. And they have a lot of flankers of these summer fragrances, and I'm not a huge fan of the summer fragrances. They, once again, don't perform well on my skin, but this does smell good. It smells really, really nice. Perfect for spring and summer. Like I said, off my skin, I don't get the best performance, so that's just the way it goes. But Eternity Summer. I also own Eternity Aqua, which is one I smelled before in Ulta, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, but being that I found this one at a pretty decent deal for this small size bottle, what is this, like a 30 ml or something? I did pick this one up, and this is the Aqua version, and it's not bad. I like the Eternity Now and the summer version better than this one, but it's okay. I do own it. I also own the OG Eternity. This is the EDT version, and you can see I have the big 200 ml bottle of that, and I also have the EDP of it, which is much, much better. And you can see that the juice color is just a tad shade darker in the EDP. But both of these are nice fragrances. Classic fragrances. Almost, I want to say, a must-have in your collection, but there are people out there who despise these fragrances, so I won't say that. But I do own those and I love them. Now, coming down to the last two, these are higher up on my list. The first one I'm going to show you is one that probably doesn't get enough respect when it comes to tobacco-based fragrances. This is one of the fragrances. I love tobacco fragrances. This is not the highest of quality, but for a sweet, wet kind of tobacco smell, CK Shock. I absolutely love this fragrance. It doesn't do the best in performance on my skin, but it works for me. I love it. CK Shock. Now, one that did get a lot of hype when I first came into the fragrance game, and not many people mention it as of the past maybe couple of years, Calvin Klein's Reveal. And this fragrance used to be talked about by so many different reviewers, and then it just falls off the map all of a sudden. People don't mention it as much as they used to. This is a fantastic fragrance from the house of Calvin Klein, and I actually put this over all the ones I just showed you. Perfect for the cooler weather, fall, winter. You may be able to pull this off in the springtime when it's cool, like early in the morning or late at night when it's cool. But in the high heat, I wouldn't recommend this one. But this smells phenomenal. Kind of smells boozy, kind of sweet. I love it. CK Reveal. But the reason why we're talking about Calvin Klein today is Calvin Klein has a 2020 release called Defy. And I showed it to you in the beginning. This just came out not too long ago, and I got my hands on it. And as you can see, I have put a small dent in it already. I've worn it twice now, so I have had a little bit of experience with this fragrance. And as always with Calvin Klein fragrances, you don't get the best atomizer, as you just saw. It's not bad, but it's not the best. This smells very, very good if you ask me. Now, for the price, I don't recommend people picking this up. Now, I was fortunate enough that somebody bought this and they might have not been able to take it back to where they got it from. Henceforth, I don't have a cap. I got this off Mercari, and I was able to bargain with them a little bit, which you rarely can bargain with anybody because Mercari blocks everything if it doesn't make them money. But I did get this for a pretty decent deal. I didn't pay full retail for it, but I did purchase it, and in a way I kind of regret what I paid for it, but I have it now. It is what it is, and if I want to sell it, I can at least get some of my money back off of it. But I think I'm going to hold on to this one. Now, this draws, in my personal opinion, similarities to fragrances such as YSL Y from the house of YSL Yves Saint Laurent. As you can see, the juice color is almost identical. This one is a little darker, the YSL, in my opinion. If you take the sweetness out of it or you tone it down some, it will damn near be identical, because this is a little bit sweet. It's fresh, just like this one. Citrusy, a little woodsy in the dry down. It is kind of earthy. I do like this fragrance a lot. It also draws a little bit of a comparison to the fresh version of YSL, and I sprayed it in the air before I started this video, and it does have a similarity to it, without the, I think there's a bit more citrus in this one, the fresh version from YSL, than it is in this one. With the Defy, you mainly get more of the fresh aspect of it, which is good. This is a perfect scent for the office. It's not as citrusy as you would think it is. Like if you spray this, the average nose wouldn't probably be able to pick out. I think there's like bergamot in this, but you would probably think it would be like lemon or, you know, some other kind of citrus. But there's, I think, bergamot in this. There's some lavender in here. What else is in this? My mind is drawing a blank. Here are the main accords. So it gives you an idea of what to look for. And I'll put the notes up also here. And I had a conversation with somebody earlier when I posted my scent of the day, which was this, on Instagram and Facebook, and people started chiming in. And the discussion was, when people aren't talking about this because they're waiting on it to hit discounters. And it definitely will hit discounters. And I'm going to tell you this is coming straight from me. And if you believe and trust what I say, then listen to me. When this hits discounters, this will be one of those gems that we speak of when we talk about going to rack stores. This would be a perfect fragrance to find at a rack store. You don't see a lot of fragrances like YSL and stuff like that. You may get lucky and find it around holiday season, but this fragrance will definitely, more than likely, hit discounters. And if you can get a fragrance like this for 20, 25, 30, maybe 35. I wouldn't go higher than 35. Maybe 35 at the max. This could be a gem. I love this scent a lot. If you are somebody who has YSL Y or any fragrance that resembles this, you definitely don't need this unless you are somebody who has a bottle of this and you want to, not spend another whatever you spent for it in the beginning. Then definitely pick up something like this at the right price, and then it saves you from using this. Now, if on the other hand, you're somebody who don't have YSL and you're looking for something that is fresh, kind of citrusy, perfect for the office, it's non-offensive, you can spray this on as heavy as you want to, and it's not going to offend anybody unless they have a super sensitive nose. Definitely look into something like this. Not at full retail, but maybe when it hit discounters, or if you can find it somewhere marked down somewhere, or somebody didn't care for it and they're trying to get rid of it, yes. But other than that, I would not pay full retail for this, because I don't think it's worth 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 and something dollars. It's not worth that. It's not even really worth 40, 45 if you ask me. Anything 35 and under I would go for. And depending on the circumstances, I might pay 40, maybe. It just depends on the circumstance. It's not bad. It's really not. And y'all haven't heard me mention a lot of Calvin Klein fragrances. I don't hype a lot of freshies, because a lot of freshies don't perform on my skin. But when they do, those are the ones I talk about the most. This one, performance-wise, today, it wasn't that hot. It's been raining for like the past 2 weeks, off and on. So it was kind of cool today. But still, I might have gotten, I think I got about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours of good, strong projection. Now, this doesn't push out like 4 or 5 feet out. This is maybe like your personal bubble, maybe a foot and a half out is about all you're gonna get out of this. So it sits close to the skin, but it did project for about 2.5 hours. Longevity on my skin, personally, I got about 5.5 to 6 hours of longevity. But after that 3 hour, 2.5, 3 hour mark, it does sit really close to the skin, and you have to get close to your arm to smell it. And I went heavy on the sprays. I didn't do my usual 7. I did way more, and I even sprayed my shirt, which is something I rarely do. But I still got about 5.5, 6 hours of longevity out of this. And then after that, it was like a super faint skin scent. Like I couldn't even smell it. Even if I put my arm very close to my nose, it was barely there. So for those of you who are thinking that this is going to be like a super performing fragrance, in most cases, I'll say, because for somebody else, this may perform 12 to 15 hours. Who knows? But off of my skin, it didn't last that long. I got about, like I said, 5.5, 6 hours. On my shirt, it did perform a little bit better, obviously. But hey, like I said, y'all, Calvin Klein's Defy, pretty decent fragrance. It puts me in the mind frame of, like I said, once again, fragrances like YSL Y, which isn't a bad fragrance. But if you don't get the best performance out of YSL Y, I mean, it's probably going to be about the same. So if you have YSL Y, like I said before, stick with that. If you don't have YSL Y, I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking to save money versus buying something like this from YSL. But hey, it's your pockets. I'm not pocket watching. So if you choose to spend that kind of money, then hey, I ain't mad at you. Do what you do. But that's my take on Calvin Klein's Defy, the newest release, 2021. Not a bad scent at all. I actually like this a lot. The atomizer is not the best, as you saw, but hey, what can I say? So here is to smelling great, y'all. Peace.